All right, there we go. I think we're live. What's up, everybody? Jesse and I are just like, we're just leveling up our podcast game, like every episode. Last time we're just like, recording in, a room in our, in our house, and Jesse's in an actual podcast studio now, and I'm still in my room in my house, but
Yeah, it was funny. Last week, I was all worried about my background. I got this weird chest next to me, and the lighting is crazy because there's this window in a weird spot. So I'm shutting curtains and pulling stuff. Get through the podcast, and you let me know. You text me and you say, "Hey, visuals didn't work at all." I was like, "Okay, whatever."
What's funny about the visuals though, which I didn't tell you, is like, the way it recorded, it only showed you the entire time. So it's like your background.
That's even worse.
Was the only one that it showed the whole time. So
I would much rather you not upload that. So I appreciate
yeah,
that.
fair enough. I'll just do the audio.
Yeah.
But, welcome everybody to the Dads Who Mosh podcast. Glad to have you guys. Glad you're tuning in. Excited to be here. Excited to talk about a few things. Let's see. It's Friday. I don't know what day it will actually be when this releases, but it's Friday. Last week I kind of went off for a little bit about swim meets and how much it takes up time. This is like the first week in 3 weeks that we don't have a swim meet. So we were super stoked. But then my oldest was just like, "Hey, can we go to the his high school is playing in the state championship for their division?" He's like, "Can we go to the basketball game on Saturday?" It's like in Phoenix. I was like, Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But other than that, we don't really have plans for the weekend, which is really nice. That doesn't happen a lot.
Wait, so you guys are going to the Phoenix Suns game then?
No, it's not the Suns game. I wish. I'd much rather go to a Suns game. It's his high school. His high school's state championship basketball game is at an arena in Phoenix.
That's cool.
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Because I know you're a Suns fan. I see you post stuff about it.
Yeah, last night was a great game against the Lakers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But
yeah, I'm a big hockey fan. I know the whole universe has been talking about the Olympics.
That's right.
And I was fired up. I don't do this often. I set an alarm. This was 2 weekends ago, but I set an alarm for 5 a.m. It goes off. Madison rolls over and she's says to me, like, "What are you doing? You are absolutely insane. It's dark outside." It was
Saturday too, wasn't it?
Sunday
morning.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
So I roll downstairs. I just got my little blanket, make some coffee, and turn on the hockey game at 5 a.m. But so worth it. Obviously,
sorry, I love America.
Exactly. I kind of wanted to shoot off some fireworks in the backyard or something, wake up everybody. But
sorry, my patriotism offends you. It was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah.
I think it was. With everything being so crazy, so divided, it felt like for a brief moment, it changed right after the game, but for a brief moment, everybody was so fired up and excited and, on the same page. Yeah. Unfortunate how quickly that ended, but it was a lot of fun to watch it for sure.
Yeah, you're right. No, everybody. So I was at a swim meet Sunday morning last week, and so everybody had their phones and their tablets out, and even the announcer that announces the heats and stuff like that. He was keeping everybody updated on the score and overtime and stuff like that. So it was cool. I've never really been that into hockey. I need to get into it more. But yeah, I mean, that even if you're not that into hockey, it was a cool moment for sure.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's good for the sport too. I've told you my kids play hockey. I play men's beer league every now and then. Hockey. I started playing when I was up in Montana. Watch a ton of. I'm wearing my Sharks hat today. Actually, I didn't even realize that. But so that's kind of our family sport. We get real, playoffs every year. We kind of go all in, build our brackets, kind of March Madness style for NHL playoffs. So it's really cool when the rest of the country is on board with your favorite sport. Kind of something to talk about. So it was a good time. Great game. Overtime winner. The goalie for US was just insane. Yeah. So it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah. Busted out teeth, all of it.
Oh, yeah. Traded his 2 front teeth for a gold medal. Just classic hockey. Doesn't get any more hockey than that.
Right? Exactly. But yeah, no, we don't have any. I mean, we don't have any plans this weekend. What do you got going on this weekend?
Nothing crazy. Sports. Maybe this is going to just turn into dads who take their kids to sports podcast because it's
Yep.
we've got a hockey game. Speaking of, for the oldest, my 5-year-old is starting her soccer this weekend, so she's really excited. That'll be her first sports team ever. So I'm curious how it goes, just based on her personality. And for the inline league, I help volunteer there a lot. I do a lot of stuff in the background. So we've been doing draft parties and just getting the season kicked off. So yeah, sports.
Awesome, man. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, just making it through the week, working for the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How's work going? You said it's been busy.
It's good. It's just crazy. I mean, and that's always good. Like when it's busy, I think like recently this is one of like my biggest pet peeves. And it's like, it sounds so arrogant to say it, but it's like, I really pride myself on like doing the best job I possibly can. And it's like, sometimes I don't, but it's like, I always feel like I'm trying, and maybe it's like to a fault. I'm like very like workspace. So it's like, that's how I feel, appreciated by people. That's how I show appreciation. Yeah. There's just like this last week, there were just a number of things that like happened, and people are not doing their jobs the best they can, and then it just causes this huge headache for me. And so I had to text my wife and apologize to her because I was just like raging on the phone with her, and it's not her fault. It's all these other people's fault. But yeah, we'll survive.
I hear you. I get it. I can relate. There's nothing more frustrating than working with people when you're kind of giving your everything and they could care less, on anything, school project, work, or even volunteer things. It's frustrating for sure.
Dude, it's annoying when you go to a show and people aren't giving. Yeah, that's pet peeve. I'm tying this into hardcore. Pet peeve at a show. This is so funny to me. Like a pet peeve at a show, and I see this at every single hardcore show. You'll have like this guy in the back, like the back of the room, which I hang out in the back of the room a lot. Like at this stage of my life, if I'm going to go in the pit, it's going to be like very selective. It's got to be worth it, because like I'm going to take a week to recover. And so like there's always a guy in the back though who's there with his girlfriend. And this guy, like you can tell, like doesn't go to hardcore shows a lot, which is great that he's there. But it's like he stands in the back and then like kind of does like, throws some elbows and stuff like that as he's standing in the back. But he's just like, he will never go into the pit, like ever. And he's trying to impress his girlfriend. I'm like, dude, that's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it, man.
We all know that guy. We've all seen that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm with you.
But
yeah, I was thinking, I've never talked about this on here before, but at my work, we use Slack. We're like super corporate tech company, basic. And we have this Slack channel that's called Harsh Music. And it is a gold mine. There's a like automation. Again, I'm a software developer. We have all these nerdy things. And we have this automation every Friday. People share their favorite new releases that have come out.
Yeah.
And so there's a handful of people that will post music that I like, but there is so much coworker core in there.
Yep.
I mean, I think someone posted today, new Megadeth album. It's like,
oh God, yeah. That's so funny. Yeah. Dude, speaking of which, I have this gym that my wife and I go to. And I was at a class, and this guy came up to me, and I think I was wearing a Boundaries shirt. And he's like, is that a band? And I was like, yeah. And he's like a younger kid, like 20 something, like just married. He's like, is that a band? I was like, yeah. He's like, I think I've heard of them before. He's like, do you like heavy metal? And I was like, yeah, sure. I do. But then he started asking, he's like, I've only been to one concert in my life. And he's like, and it was Bring Me the Horizon. I was like, oh, that's cool. And so we started talking, and he was like, can you make me a playlist? I was like, dude, I'm about to ruin your life, but yeah, I'll make you a playlist. So I'd be happy to. So I told him, I was like, hey, if you ever want to go to a show, I'll let you know when I'm going. So maybe we'll have someone else to come hang out at shows with. So.
Oh, it's so cool. I love bringing people to shows that have never
Yeah.
been to a show like that before.
Yeah.
We have a buddy in our sphere of men that he's like a gym guy, and so he would get some of these songs in his gym playlist. And, I love Kublai Khan, and
Exactly.
And so,
yep.
I think it was August Burns Red, and this was an awesome one. Do you remember Brand of Sacrifice?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I saw that once. Yeah.
Way more like deathcore side, and so we bring him to that show, and it just blew his mind. It's so fun to see the reaction of this person realizing that this whole other world exists.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. Well, and that's what he was like. Yeah, he's like, you don't meet a lot of. He kept saying, you don't meet a lot of metalheads out there, and I was like,
yeah,
dude, like we're gonna learn you. So I told him,
I love it.
I'm gonna go to that Varials show, and so I told him, I was like, you want to come? Like, come along. So
for sure,
we'll see if he does it. But yeah, we've got a few different segments that we want to start doing. I was just telling Jesse, like, when I was just like winging this on my own, I just like run out of things to say. And like, so we're trying to be a little more structured and have a few things that we actually talk about. One of the things that we want to, at least have every single week is a new band that we discovered this week, which is just like, to me, is vital because like Spotify has been killing me lately. Like every single thing is like, oh, here's a brand new band. Let me listen to their radio station. And it's like, it's all the same stuff. I finally figured out that you can press the non-personalized button now on Spotify, and that will actually give you, have you seen that? Have you seen the non-personalized button?
No, I'll have to check that out.
It's a game changer. I'm so excited about it. Because when you find a new artist and you like go to their station to find other music like that, Spotify just plays the same stuff you listen to all the time. But now there's a button that says non-personalized, and it'll refresh it and give you all kinds of stuff you've never heard before. So it's a game changer.
Yeah. It's one of those things that when I have a good playlist going, it'll be like banger after banger.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I love this song. I love this song. I love this song. And then I look and I've already liked all those songs, which is great. But also, to your point, they're not giving me anything new.
No.
And it's only things I've ever liked before. So
Spotify's
like, check that out.
Spotify's like, you love this. Nah, you don't want to listen to anything new. You want to listen to this. I know you do.
That's right.
You want to listen to this 20 times
and then
in a row.
Also, there's those bands that they shove down your throat. So my buddy Marco, he's always jokes about the band Throne because he's like, I like Throne. But every time he starts a playlist, it ends up in his playlist somehow.
Yep.
And he's like, I swear they must be paying for something because it's just always there. Every playlist. And
I think they can. I think it's a thing.
Exactly.
Because that's like, as much as I like Missing Link, every single time I start a new playlist, second song, New York Minute.
Do they really?
Missing Link every single time, and I'm just like,
oh, come on, that's a great song though.
But it's such a good song. See, that's the thing.
Exactly.
I can complain about it all day long, but at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, this is a really good song.
It's kind of like people will complain about their Instagram algorithm. They're like, oh man, Instagram just gives me all this stuff. Yeah, that's all the stuff you're liking though.
This is what you like.
The algorithm knows you better than you know you.
You could nuke that whole thing, start from zero, and it's like in 2 days you're gonna have the exact same thing.
Exactly. Why do I get all this negative stuff? Because you like all the negative stuff.
That's right. Exactly. Dude, so the one band that I was really excited about this week, and I sent it to you, was Holy Dose. And Holy Dose, it sounds like, I'm not sure who all is involved, but it's some of the members of Contention. And so they put out an EP this last week, and it is like very much more like punk rock. So super fun though to listen to. Like I'm always it's the same thing like on Spotify. A lot of times I'll be in like a punk rock mode. Like if I'm like, I don't know, driving around and it's not too hot outside here and I've got my window down and stuff like that, the sun's out, I always like listening to punk rock. And it's just like anytime I listen to punk rock on Spotify, it's really hit or miss. But Holy Dose put out a real banger of an EP this last week. So that was the one I was excited about this week. The new band that I discovered this week was Holy Dose. So go check out Holy Dose and the EP that they just put out.
I love it. Yeah, let's tag them and send this. Okay, my band, which I'm really excited about. I didn't find them this week, so I'm cheating a little bit, but I've been on a kick with these guys. They're called Ends in Tragedy. So they're a band out of Australia, metalcore band. They have that 2000s metalcore sound that I just love.
Yeah.
I would say these are like for fans of like Balmora. They sound very similar to a Balmora. Poison the Well, my very favorites. Sky Came Falling, that kind of early gritty metalcore before metalcore went baddiecore.
Yeah.
Which I could talk forever about that evolution. But anyways,
we should actually someday.
Go check them out. I just love their sound. It sounds very raw. And the kind of the state of it is, it's interesting because like they all show up in the hardcore subreddits and kind of in the like hardcore, but they have that early metalcore sound.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it. So
I love that.
And shout out Dan, who is my guy. He's like my dealer in new music.
Yeah.
You have that friend that like, hey, check these guys out. Check
what
these
you
guys
got.
out.
What you got for me?
Yeah.
He's
He's always sending me these great bands. So he makes up for where Spotify lacks.
Right.
He sent me these guys, and it's like every song. I just go to their page and hit play, and it's just boom, 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 boom. So check them out. I love these guys. I would love to see them tour over here sometime. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Dude, I love to, I mean, like on that note, I love, like as far as metalcore goes, I love the like early 2000s, just like dirty recording, doesn't sound like cleaned up, like gritty vocals. So great. Dude, Australia knows how to do metalcore. Like,
I agree.
There are so many good bands that come out of Australia.
I totally agree.
So, I mean, metalcore and hardcore, like metalcore side of things, you've got like Alpha Wolf is really good. But then you got like Speed on the hardcore side of things. Yeah, so good. I've got a buddy of mine who lives in Melbourne, Australia, and I'm always like, but it's like he kind of listens to it, so it's like I'll send him these bands before he hears of them. I'm like, you got to go see these guys if they come around. So, no, that's awesome. Yeah, so check out Holy Dose, check out Ends in Tragedy. Yeah, we'll try to share some new bands every week when we get together.
And if anybody listens to this podcast, tag a band that you are listening to in 100%. Comments or Spotify, or send it to us on Instagram or whatever. I love finding new bands. I will listen to everybody you send. We may run out of a list here really soon. So just start tagging people. I'd love to check out new bands.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to give you a shout out too. Like if you share a sweet band with us, we'll give you a shout out. The other thing too that we wanted to, just like keep tabs on is everything kind of in the hardcore news world. Some weeks are busier than others. But a few things that are going on in hardcore news this week, it's a big thing, but it's like they kind of try to like keep it a small thing so that nobody's like freaking out. Greg Puciato, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not actually sure how you pronounce his last name. From Better Lovers, has left the band Better Lovers. So he's the vocalist for Better Lovers. If you have listened to any other podcast episodes, previous to this, kind of my running joke about how Better Lovers is dad rock, whether they want to be or not. It's not their fault. They don't sound like dad rock, but every other guy that has a Better Lovers shirt on is also wearing, like cargo pants and tall sloppy socks and New Balances. So
hot take. I don't know if I'm on board yet. I still don't know if I'm on board.
Just start looking, just start watching. Maybe it'll change if they get a new vocalist. But yeah, I mean, as most people know, obviously Better Lovers is kind of like, after Every Time I Die broke up, we've got a good chunk of Every Time I Die, plus Will Putney, who's just like a legendary guitar player, producer in the hardcore scene, and then Greg, who did vocals for a long time with Dillinger Escape Plan, and he does like maybe that's why I associate them with dad rock, because I'm pretty sure he also tours with like like I don't know, some guy that used to be in like Alice in Chains or something like that, some like 90s grunge dad rock guy. So I just, and it's, I don't know, everybody speculates a lot with this band, I feel like, especially because of all the controversy. Like if if people are listening, like if you were around when Every Time I Die went through their breakup, it was not a nice breakup. It was messy.
Right.
People were dragging each other through the mud. Like, Twitter was all over it. It was not a happy divorce. And so I think people's first reaction to stuff like this is like, oh, like here we go again. But they did, the bands, Greg and the band, really tried, I think, to just like, first of all, not make a big deal out of it, but also just like say nothing's wrong. Like people are just going in different directions. They said Better Lovers is parting ways with Greg Puciato. We're proud of the work we've done together, but we're moving in another direction. The four of us are finishing, speaking of the four of us as in like the rest of the band, writing a new album, currently looking for a new singer. And that was it, which, I tend to believe, because it's like when Every Time I Die broke up, it was like tweet after tweet, post after post, like having to explain the situation. And then Greg posted on Instagram as well. He said, no bad blood. Everyone's cool. Don't speculate. Love these people and love the band. Rooting for them all collectively and individually. Thanks to everyone for making the last few years special. So I get it. I mean, the guy I think has like so many different projects that he's involved in. It just happens, so we'll see. I'm excited to see what I knew. Better Lovers, like I knew they were doing a side project, like a good chunk of Every Time I Die. They didn't announce who the vocalist was going to be. And then I remember they dropped 13 under 30. Or 30 under 13, the other way around. And then like Greg showed up and I'm like, this is sick. Cause I liked Dillinger Escape Plan. I liked his version of Dillinger Escape Plan when he was the vocalist. And I liked their music. That's the thing. I give them a hard time for being a dad rock band, but not only are their albums good, but like their live shows were so fun, man. They're so fun. And so, yeah, we'll see. Somebody commented on the post like, hey, the singer from Many Eyes is really good. And that's, obviously that's Keith from Every Time I Die. But and this will be the last thing I say about it is every time I saw Better Lovers, I just missed Every Time I Die. That's what I wished I was watching deep down. I wished I was watching Every Time I Die. But
well, okay. So I was going to ask you, who would be your bucket list replacement here? If you could handpick. Yeah, I've got a fun one.
Yeah, well, and I know like when you and I were messaging, a bunch of people were saying Josh Scoggin from the Chariot from '68. I don't. Of course, it would be fun, but it's like I don't know that. I don't know if I think it's a perfect fit, to be honest. Yeah, I don't. If I had a bucket list, though.
Yeah. Okay, man, I'll give you a second to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine is out of nowhere, off the wall, super crazy fun. It's Austin from The Undertaking in San Diego.
Oh,
okay.
Dude.
Hear me out. So there's this San Diego group chat that I'm in, and I think there's like 30 people in it. It's all people that have gone to Furnace Fest, and now just go to shows together. And so Austin is this like local, he just knows everybody. He's the coolest guy. And they opened for Better Lovers one time. It's a tiny little venue here.
Yeah.
And The Undertaking has that mathcore feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Austin will perform in a room of 10 people and go all out and rip his pants and be the sweatiest you've ever seen in front of a room of 10 people. So it'd be a ton of fun. So
that I do love that because I've listened to The Undertaking, his voice, and I remember when The Undertaking first came out and I heard them, I was like, this is one of like the closest I've heard to the Chariot in a long time.
Huge inspiration there for all of them.
Oh, I'm sure. Like the first person that came to my mind, which might be kind of a weird one too, and I know it's like, never in a million years, but Frank Carter from like Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. He was the vocalist for Gallows years ago. I think he's actually touring with the Sex Pistols now. Like he's singing for the Sex Pistols. So it's definitely more of like a punk, but I miss his scream. Like his scream when he sang for Gallows and like early Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes was so good. And they have some like there's some of the stuff that I watch on repeat on YouTube. One of his was like one of those like a teeny tiny show that Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes did. Like for Kerrang, like that small basement venue that they used to do live shows in and record them. So I don't know. I think that would be a cool fit. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see who they end up with. Might be interesting.
Okay. My turn for hardcore news. So the one that jumped out to me, I've been kind of tracking this, watching the rumors, watching the subreddits. So Balmora came over for Hellfest West. And they actually were doing a free pre-show in LA that I really wanted to go to, but it's in LA and on a weekday. There's no way I could have made it. But they did this free show first, however many people the venue held. I heard that there was a line wrapped around the venue. People had to get there at noon or something. So anyways, but it was Balmora and I Promise the World kind of kicking off this Hellfest. And they had a different lead singer. So they actually had Paul Cole from Since My Beloved. And this is interesting because Balmora hasn't said anything about it. There's been no official, hey, we've parted ways like Better Lovers did.
Yeah.
It's all been speculation. He just showed up and started singing at this free show. So people are posting on Instagram, they're posting on Reddit, like, what's going on here? Maybe he was sick, he was just filling in. And then he also performed at Hellfest, at the actual festival a couple days later. And then to make things even weirder, they just announced a new album, and in their announcement, in the photo, they've got Paul from Since My Beloved.
Yep.
And I think that happened today or late yesterday. So it seems official that they've moved on. So, their old singer was Senti. He was actually the guy that ran the record company that did Hellfest and all that. I don't know much about him, but I think he's kind of a big deal in the scene. Yeah. And so he just disappears. He removed the band from his profile, and all the thing that people speculate. They start digging into, does he still follow him?
Yeah.
But also in my investigation, in my journalism here.
Yeah.
So Balmora did a split EP with Since My Beloved. So they did this EP where they had kind of half the songs were Since My Beloved, half the songs were Balmora, and they kind of they did songs with each other. So it seems to kind of make sense. I don't know. Yeah. I also like Since My Beloved, and I love Balmora. So I'm interested to see what happens there. Yeah. I think it'll be cool. I don't know. It's not like this old school band getting a new vocalist or something. So I think they have a lot of room to grow and change and adapt. But kind of interesting. It's also to me the weirdest thing is they just didn't say anything about it. There's been no announcement.
That is weird.
Hey, check out this new album with this new singer in this post. So
well, it does. I mean, obviously people are going to speculate, but it's like if you don't say anything. Exactly. That makes me wonder if like there's something weird going on, because it's like if you don't have anything to hide, just be like, hey, like we're parting ways. Everybody does that.
Exactly.
But it's like, if there's nothing, dude. Since My Beloved, I don't think I've listened to them, but there's like, have you ever heard more of like a 2002 metalcore band name than Since My Beloved? That's so great. I love it.
It's so great, and it's that sound. It's in that realm of Balmora, and so I would check them out. I didn't know about them until that split EP. Okay. And so, but they're check them out. It is totally early 2000s metalcore feel.
Love it. Well, and Balmora, when we were at Furnace Fest, covered On Broken Wings, and it's like just the perfect fit.
Perfect fit. I love it. Awesome. As you dive into these subgenres, 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 it's like that early 2000s metalcore, and like the kind of resurgence of it is just chef kiss to me.
I love it. 100%. Well, then the last thing, in hardcore news, this week is, and I posted about this, I said, hardcore is like dairy, if you watch it, or like the Welcome to Dairy series at all, but that's like a tagline is no one stays dead forever. Sleeping Giant posted something. And actually, I should check because I thought they said they were going to release something today. Did you see anything?
Well, was it today? Maybe
it wasn't.
Posted. I thought it was March something.
Oh yeah, so here it is. Once again, it's the first thing I should see. My algorithm knows me. So
Breaking news here, folks.
Breaking news here. Here we go. You heard it here first, but probably not.
That's right.
Giant posted something, teasing a return. They had clips from like their final show where they're like, "We're never gonna do this again," which is what everyone says. And here we go. Sleeping Giant, 2 nights, different albums each night. Sleeping Giant Forever. Each night will feature different support lineups announcing in the coming weeks. And here you go. Both nights, June 19th and 20th at the Glass House in Pomona.
Oh, Glass House.
So, yeah, meet and greet bundles, Nate. All this stuff. Yeah, dude, serious.
Come on over. We'll hit both nights.
Oh, man, that would be a ton of fun. Oops, there it is. Yeah, that would be a ton of fun, man. So there you go. Sleeping Giant doing some reunion shows. And we'll see. Yeah. Maybe that leads to an album. That's so funny that like that happened too, because part of it is like as a dad, I'm trying to like I there's like music I'll listen to when I'm by myself in the car, music I'll listen to when the kids are in the car. And I was like, dude, Sleeping Giant, that's a great band to listen to when the kids are in the car. So like the other day we were running around and for a couple of days, anytime I had the kids in the car, we were listening to Sleeping Giant, and then they're coming back. So who knows? Maybe there's another Dead. Maybe I should listen to The Chariot with the kids in the car. And a few days later, maybe they'll announce a reunion show.
Manifest it. Yeah,
That's right. Sleeping
Giant is so good. I mean, you go back to the early 2000s that we've talked about, our very favorite subgenre. And that kind of youth group core,
Exactly.
I'm just throwing core on everything, but I think that's what the scene does. But that they were such an entry point for so many kids. And then you get into this scene, and you're listening to this music that your youth pastor sent to you, and you're like, "This is cool," And so good, so many good memories,
good,
such a good. And they had so much respect around the scene too, which is rare.
Yep, that was something I was just thinking about this morning that I've always really appreciated about Sleeping Giant and Advent were like 2 bands that did such a good job of that. And they were bands that came up in the Christian metalcore, hardcore scene, and 95% of the bands that did that are now like, we're not a Christian band and whatever. This isn't like, I'm not here to talk about that, but those guys, not only did they never sell out on like their personal convictions and beliefs, but it's like when you look at the guest vocals, for example, that these bands have, like the scene has so much respect. Like last week we were talking about Frankie from Amur. Like Frankie did a spot on one of Sleeping Giant's songs and crushed it. And then like Frankie turned around and did a music video where I'm pretty sure he's like, smoking weed in his like trailer, but like he's wearing a Sleeping Giant hoodie. Like at least he has so much respect. And same with Advent. Like when we watch Advent and Joe from Advent is a buddy of mine. But like what I love about that band is like all the other bands that have so much respect for Advent. And it's like whatever your personal beliefs are, like these guys had theirs and they never sold out on it, but they also were just like really true to the scene. And I've always really appreciated that. So maybe Advent will play. If Advent plays on one of those Sleeping Giant shows, which I know like Tommy and Joe are good buddies too, like, oh man, I would love to be able to make it to that.
Yeah. Cool. But should we talk about new EPs coming out this week?
Let's do it. Yeah, next segment. Right. All the new EPs and albums and stuff like that coming out.
Yeah, so I thought it'd be really cool. Again, we said this at the beginning, always looking for new music, what's coming out. One of the only ways that I know is it's who I'm following gets sent to me in my Spotify of like what's coming out. Yeah. So I was really stoked on the new Terror single that came out and announcement for their new album. I love Terror. I love their style. Kind of like you said, where there's a certain mood you have to be in. There's a mood I have to be in for Terror, but it's just so two-steppy. And they also stayed true to their sound. That
100%.
This single that came out this week sounds like it could have been on Keepers of the Faith. It just it just goes right along with it. So good. I'm really looking forward to some new stuff from them.
Yeah. And I mean, like, personally, I'm always in the mood for Terror. I will always listen to Terror. I will always go see Terror. That's what I love, too, is like, I was listening to an interview with Scott Vogel once, too. I think it was on the One Life, One Chance podcast. And he was talking about how, like, Terror's been around forever. And they're just like, I mean, they're a cornerstone of the hardcore scene. But it's like they'll go on headlining tours, which they're going to kick off for this new album. They'll go on headlining tours, but then they'll just open for people too. Like they don't care.
For sure.
Like they'll open for like up and coming bands. Like I watched them open for Obituary. You know, who's like they're like old heads, but then like Terror went on tour with Knocked Loose when Knocked Loose was coming up. Like they don't care. They'll open for anybody. They'll headline. Yeah, I love Terror.
So cool.
I'm so glad that they're still putting music out.
Oh yeah. I think they will until they just collapse. You know, they're so cool.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. The other one that we've got here listed, August Burns Red had some teasers for a while. Sounds like they signed again with Fearless Records, and then they put out a single. Behemoth is the name of the single. And dude, like August Burns Red is another one of those bands, right? Like Sleeping Giant, Advent, August Burns Red. A stalwart in the Christian metalcore scene, but they also like redefine metalcore, like take away like the Christian side of it. Like you don't have modern metalcore, like if you don't have August Burns Red, especially in the early 2000s, like if you don't have, you know, the Messengers album, Constellations, all that stuff, man. Such a killer band. And they like have just, I mean, they've been nominated for Grammys. They're just like, you know, they've skyrocketed in fame. But they still, like, same deal, stayed really true to their convictions. This single, though, that's come out, Behemoth, this is, like, my favorite song that they've done in a long time. And part of it is just maybe because, like, while that was kind of, like, my favorite style of, like, heavy music for a while, I kind of, like, shifted into something else. But, like, this new song, Behemoth, is just, like, it's so heavy. It's so August Burns Red. It's got, like, the classic breakdowns in it, the ridiculous drumming from Matt Greiner. You know, Jake's vocals are just ridiculous. He's shirtless for half of it. He's just so like so ripped now. But yeah, I love it. I love it. As long as he doesn't try to like, you know, hire a hitman and, you know, have his wife killed like, you know, Tim from As They Lay Dying after he got jacked.
That's
we'll
right.
be okay. But I don't anticipate that.
Yeah, I'm with you. 10 out of 10. It's great.
Yeah.
And they haven't put out anything new for a while. I know they re-recorded that one album before Jake was with them, which is so crazy because Jake, it's like hard to remember that Jake wasn't actually even a part of the first album.
Yeah.
And then he has so much respect for the band before. I don't know, just really cool all around.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they re-recorded that a couple years ago, but there hasn't been anything. They haven't really been on tour. I think I've seen them on some of the big festivals and maybe cruise or something, but they haven't toured like they did for a while. There was a string there where I think I saw them 3 times in 1 year.
I think I did too at 1 year. Like at one point
they did that metalcore dropout tour, and it was
that's right.
They came, and then they said, "Oh, we're doing part 2," and they came to Southern California again, and they hit like different cities, but in Southern California, it's just just go to the next city.
That's great.
It was so fun. I agree. This new single it's awesome.
Yeah, I like this Facebook memory came up the other day, and I have this picture from like my freshman year in college. This is like 2007, maybe 2008. And I was at an August Burns Red show. And so I've got a picture of me and Jake like after the show, and like he's super young and I'm super young. I've got like swoopy kind of like emo hair. It's great. I'm gonna have to share it. Maybe I'll share it on the Instagram.
Yeah, I was gonna say post it. That'd be awesome.
I was gonna say that'd be funny. We should find like old show photos or like old
that would be fun
stuff from back in the day. But yeah, August Burns Red, new single coming out. What else we got here?
So yesterday, Tony Danze Extravaganza releases a new song, and they released it on Sirius XM radio, which is funny. Whatever.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did this like takeover. I only know this because we've talked about this before. My wife's car has XM radio.
Yep.
And this is a topic for a different day. It is just all three of the like metal stations that I get I
Yeah.
have beef with. You
Oh,
have
yeah.
this like hair metal,
Yep.
liquid metal. You have
Yep.
this. It's literally it's called octane, which I think is where they kind of get the
Yep.
the insult. It's just this radio rock, and then you have turbo, and it's like all like Linkin Park and Limp
Yep.
Bizkit, which I do love. And
Yeah.
I usually kind of fall to turbo, but
Yeah.
anyways, none of them scratch the itch.
Yeah.
And this is such a side tangent, but it was at that moment I realized how niche our music is.
It's true.
In that we've got 3 totally different metal
Yeah.
stations, and none of them are what I listen to.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
It's kind of a realization. But anyways, total tangent.
Yeah.
The Tony Danze is back. We saw them at Furnace Fest. Really fun, different,
Tons of fun. Yeah.
just wild. So
yeah. That was one
Cool
of
to
the
see them
bands
back.
that, like, even back in the day, like, I didn't know a lot of people in the scene that liked Tony Danza Tapdance Extravaganza just because they were so weird, they're so different, but they're so talented. And that was cool seeing them at Furnace Fest. And like if you looked like off to the stage side, you had like Stray from the Path guys, Knocked Loose guys, like
Yeah.
all these other younger bands were just like drinking it all in watching these guys play because they're
Totally.
so good. So, and then you've got on the list here, you've got Atreyu listed here. I
Yeah.
didn't realize Atreyu was like still making music.
Well, I didn't really either, but they put out a brand new single. So
Is
I
it
don't
good?
know.
Have you listened to it?
It was a little slow,
Dude, here's
but-
I will so like there's a few songs where like like back in the day I'll be like, oh this song sucks, but like let's
Yeah.
just leave it on and see what comes on
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
And the whole
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Tears Don't Fall song. Dude, I will still listen to that to the day I die. It's like
Oh, yeah.
so cheesy, radio rock, but dude, like I'm just like it's so good. I don't know why it's so good, but
Yeah, Atreyu, and then the other one that popped up in my Spotify is Beartooth.
oh yeah.
Did you ever get into Beartooth?
I got into
they went
Beartooth for,
so
like-
baddie core.
Yes. Yes. I got into Beartooth for like a hot minute when their EP released, when Caleb basically broke away from Attack,
Yes.
like dealt with all of his like addiction stuff, got
Yes.
sober, and then put out that first EP. It was
Yes.
so good.
So-
dude. That first
so
EP
good.
was sick. And it was still
It's
like they were
heavy.
heavy, chaotic, like
Yes.
kind of some elements of like Chariot in there. Just like it was
I love
so
it.
good. I loved
Yeah.
it so much. And then
The Pink album.
yeah, like then album came out right after that. I can't remember the name
Oh,
of
did
it.
it?
It's like with him floating through the air, and
Oh,
it was
okay.
like okay, but then it's
Yeah.
just like for me, it just went downhill.
Me
from
too.
There.
I agree. I don't like to hate, but it's that
Yeah.
Pink album that came out. I was all excited about it.
Yeah.
And then they had like a country song.
Yeah.
And they had, and they just have the slowest kind of poppy radio rock. It's these bands we talk about that kind of go mainstream.
Yeah. And again, maybe that's a topic for another day too. Like there are
Totally.
bands that have gone mainstream and do really well, and there are bands that are just like, please stop. Like this is bad.
Agreed.
So yeah, I did see that they came out. I just saw that one too with Haste the Day. So Haste the Day, another solid state Christian metalcore band, and Silent Planet.
And it's
so
with
I haven't-
Silent
did-
Planet.
Yeah, did
Yeah.
you listen to it? I haven't listened to the song yet.
Yeah, I just gave it one listen, so it's hard to like judge it. More of just announcing like, hey, everybody go check this out because this is worth a listen.
Yeah.
It's fun, I love the old Haste the Day, early stuff, and
Yeah.
this one was Silent Planet. You kind of know what Silent Planet is.
Yeah.
So it kind of mixes those two. So it's worth a listen. I can't give it a full
Yeah.
review yet.
Yeah, for sure. And I threw another one up there today. Varials album "Where Light Leaves" just dropped.
Okay.
I'm I like Varials, man. They've gone through like 3 different vocalists. I think this is their 3rd vocalist. I
Oh,
like
really?
this guy because he sounds as close to their original vocalist as possible. And he was like my favorite. They had like one album with a guy that I just didn't. I don't know who any of them are, but this guy is great. I mean, it's just like. It's like heavy, I call it ignorant, hardcore, not ignorant in the sense of like they're just stupid, but ignorant just like it's not trying to convey any deep meaning. It's just like punishing, beat down, like, you know, go to the gym. And that's what I listen to. I always listen to Varials like on the way to the gym, or like some, you know, Varials No Cure or something like that. Just something that I know is going to be heavy. It's not going to toy with my emotions or anything like that. It's not going to require anything but just like adrenaline. So Where Light Leaves. And the new album is sick. Like it was like like some of the like 808 drops and stuff like that. I thought my phone was going to break because it's just like the bass is so big. So
that's awesome.
So there you have it.
Check it out. I'm not familiar. I'll go check it out.
Yeah, it's good. All kinds of good music coming out recently. So, but that's a good chunk on, you know, like the hardcore side of things, which I love. Obviously, you know, the name here of the podcast is Dads Who Mosh. So it's kind of two parts there. We talk about hardcore, you know, all the music that we love, but you know, we're also both dads. You and I'd love just to, like, I'll let you kind of, you know, take this part here too, you know, and lead with it, Jesse. Sure. But like you know, you mentioned something a while back about phones at shows that I thought was really good. So I'll let you, you know, bring that up, and I've got some thoughts on it too.
Yeah, sure. So, full disclosure, this all started not on purpose. So I was at a show. I remember the show. I was in Anaheim at House of Blues, and I either lost my phone in the pit or got pickpocketed. Both are like very possible. But at the end of the show, I went to go like grab, and it just was empty. And so I lost it, had to buy a new phone, was so bummed out. And so then the next show, like I just had this brand new phone. So our very next show, about a month later, I was like, you know what? Like I'm with my buddies. They've got because the problem is you have tickets on your phone. And so if you go by yourself, you have to you do it to show the tickets. Yeah. But my friends had the tickets on their phone. So I was like, I'm just going to leave my phone here. And I had this like Nirvana moment is how it felt. I felt like I was transported back into the 2000s. Yeah. I'm looking at everybody that's recording the whole thing and just judging them so hard.
Right.
Like,
right.
All of you guys get on my level. But
that's right. That's right.
But I really, I had this moment of clarity of, okay, I do like the memories. I like getting a couple photos with the boys, you know, something you can scroll back to, something to post on the gram or whatever. But I'm not going back and watching mosh pit videos from 5 years ago. Yeah. And maybe I'll, you know, sometimes I like to show my kids the videos like, hey, look what Dad did last night. And they think I'm cool for a few seconds. Yeah. But without my phone, I was able to really enjoy the moment, and I was able to get in the pit without fear of losing this $1,000 thing in your pocket, you know. And you know what? I still remember the show totally fine, and it was just kind of a cool moment. It kind of took me back a little bit. It kind of frees you. You know, before I went to the show, I texted my wife, said, "Hey, I'm leaving my phone in the car. I'll text you afterwards." Yeah. And everything's fine. You know, we don't need to be connected that whole time. I didn't need to be contacted about anything. And so it was really cool. So I try to do it as much as possible now. Yeah. There's definitely exceptions. So I know I'm going to post some concert video and someone's like, oh, you didn't leave your phone. But there are times you have to have it for tickets, or, you know, when we did Furnace Fest, I bring it because we're there all day and we have to meet up and stuff. But I would challenge anybody who goes to a show to try it. If you can get away with it, if you can get a paper ticket, if you're going with friends, just give it a shot and try to really take in the old school moment of the music and the experience and the people and hanging out with your friends and talking in between sets about the set instead of like, you know, scrolling. So.
Yeah. No, and I love it. And I tried that because I was like, you're right. Like I went to a show and then it's like if I'm there by myself, which a lot of times I am. Yeah. Like you look around and everybody that's not with somebody there, everyone's just looking down at their phones in between sets. And so I did when I went to that Bane show, I had the ticket on my phone, so I went and scanned it, and then I bought merch and I took it all back to my car and like left everything in my car. So then you just do that. And dude, it's so much fun. Like I ended up meeting a couple of guys there, and I'm not saying like it's all because I wasn't on my phone, but maybe, dude, it's like it was, you know, you don't have an excuse to not like interact with people or like ignore people. So yeah, I love it. And yeah, obviously, yeah, I mean, we're gonna, we'll be going to shows and we'll put, footage and stuff like that on there. But even if it's as simple as just like, I don't know, bring a bag or something like that. Bring a little, like, what I call them fanny packs, but they're not called fanny packs anymore. Put it in there, just ignore it, whatever. It was nice for me to not just be like, oh, I need to record this. Oh, I love this song.
Exactly.
Oh, it's like, no, instead I'm just going to like rush the stage, be in the moment. Bane's was a great band to do that with anyways, because they're all like old dudes anyways. So they don't care about all that, social media stuff. And, so yeah, I think it's great. I think it's a great idea.
Well, and someone put it in perspective for me too, of you're recording this shaky video on your phone that doesn't have the best lighting. There are tons of professional photographers at every show now that go home and edit and clip and put together these things that you can go save or download. There's this another side story. I went to this Missing Link show at this small little brewery and left my phone, moshed my brains out, had so much fun, came home with a black eye. It was one of the best experiences, and they have this professional photographer there, and he puts up this slideshow, and I found myself in it. I was like, I don't know, better than I can do, and
it's so fun.
So fun, and because you're just let loose a little bit, you don't. And because your natural instinct is you hear your favorite song is like, oh, let me record this.
And
like you can go watch the music video on YouTube,
Exactly. It's not like it's gonna sound better live on your phone than it will on Spotify. Yeah, you're totally right. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I saw somewhere too, like research on this that. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't want to like spit misinformation here, right? Yeah. But I saw something somewhere that our memory is actually worse because we're recording everything now.
Yeah.
And so where we used to remember, remember that? Do you remember the first Warp Tour? I remember my first Warp Tour very clearly. I didn't take a single photo. If I did, it was on a scrolly camera, and I have no idea where those pictures are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Totally. Well, I think like the bigger issue too, especially as dads, husbands, obviously like our phone, a lot of times it's, it's not just something we record stuff with or like zone out on. And sometimes it is, but it's like, it's our lifeline sometimes too. Like, but I think like in today's day and age, and this is something that I complain about all the time, like with my job, like on the side, like I'm a business owner, I've got a million different things going on. What I hate is the fact that like, not only can everybody get a hold of you through like multiple channels at any time of day, but like you're almost expected to respond because they're like, I know you see this. I know you have your phone. I know you just saw my missed call, my text, my email, my Slack, whatever it is. Like, I know you saw it. You're just ignoring me. And I think there's like that pressure to be like, oh, I gotta answer. I gotta respond. I gotta do this now. And so it's now like in this day and age where, and I'm sure you experience this too. It's like, we no longer have this just like working from 9 to 5, jump in the car, drive home away from the office. Like people can get a hold of you all the time. And there's this pressure to like, just do it right then and there, like get it taken care of. And I feel like that's really hard, at least for me personally, that's really hard for me to break away from. Like, no, I can do this tomorrow. Like this will be done during business hours. It's really hard, I feel like, to I guess get away from that expectation.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my wife and I talk about this all the time. There are so many downsides to the phone and how it's changed our entire lives and how doom scrolling is maybe worse than smoking and all these studies that come out, and we're so addicted, myself included. And so taking a moment to do this thing you love and like break free of that can be a really healthy thing. So
yeah. Well, and then the other thing too is like, like our kids both have cell phones, and we, we're pretty good about like getting them away from them. It's like, it's the end of the day, give us your phones. You don't need them. We've got all like the tracking stuff in the world where we can see, we track and can control everything they see or don't see. And if anything sketchy comes through, like we get, alerted and all that stuff. But I don't know, man, it's like you put in all of that effort And then, and not to like turn everything super like depressing, but it's like we were watching, as cheesy as it is, we were watching American Idol the other day. And then of course, like, American Idol, all of the contestants that make it through have like, a rough backstory. But one of them
Always,
was like,
yes.
there was this connection where like, there's this mom whose daughter committed suicide. And it was all because of online bullying. And my wife and I were talking about that. It's like, as parents, like our kids don't have any online, like no social media, nothing like that, just because we know, like, and a lot of parents like let their kids have it and they're like, oh, well, it's okay. It's just their friends. It's just other teenagers. But I'm like, these teenagers are the ones that are like bullying people. So it's just like, I don't know, man, it's hard. It's like, it's hard because like bullies have always existed, but it's like, you go to school, there's a bully there, maybe they beat you up, or something like that. You can deal with it, but there's also repercussions for that bully. If like that bully beats you up at school, they're going to get in trouble. Online has like no consequences. People can say whatever they want and like nobody's going to hold them accountable for that. And that's really hard.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's so tough because there's not a great answer here. And, we have friends that go, 0 cell phone up to, the friends that, they have 2 working parents that have to work all day. And so like there is no rein on it, but like, it's because it's just, they have to do it. It's a tough situation, and so, and I think every situation is so different and we're all trying to figure this out, this balance of, because okay, the other thing is there's a huge convenience. You mentioned all the tracking and communication. It is so nice. We'll go to Disneyland, and my 14-year-old and 10-year-old will go and ride stuff together, and they're hopping on stuff. We can see on the map where he's at. We can text him, say meet up here. Yep. I'm sure we could figure out a way to do it without cell phones, but it's definitely like a peace of mind of
I know.
We can, and so there's all these pros and cons, and
it is. It's a double-edged sword for sure. And that was so like our youngest. The reason we finally broke down and got him a cell phone is this was when we were still living in Montana, and like I guess without going into too many details, but like my youngest has Tourette's syndrome. So like there's some things that come along with that, and a lot of it is just like impulsiveness. He doesn't think through things and just does it. And so there was a day where I was at home with both of our boys. My oldest son, Emmett, he like his friend and his friend's parents were coming to pick him up. I just had to like run and go do something. So basically like what ended up happening is there was like a 10-minute window where my youngest son was home all alone. And I left first, then my oldest left, and then my oldest just like didn't communicate very well with like his brother that he was leaving, just hang out, dad will be back soon. And we had left him home by himself before. Well, at this point he was like 9 or 10 or something like that. He came downstairs in those 10 minutes, realized nobody was home. And in his mind, he's like, oh, they're all out for a walk. So he just started walking, like had no idea where he was going, just started walking. Yeah. So I show up at home 10 minutes later. He's nowhere to be found. Call the cops, like police. Like they saw him, they were like trying to track him down, and then he ended up like my wife found him. But like just 10 minutes of just like every parent's worst nightmare. So I was like, you have to have a phone because you have to call us. Like, in this situation, like that's the rule now. If you look around and nobody's there and you don't know why nobody's there, you got to call us. So it's hard. It's a double-edged sword for sure because there are really great things with it and things that like, it's just an added thing that parents have to be on top of.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
If anyone out there really knows like the best solution, let us know.
For sure.
Dads.
Definitely.
But awesome. Well, I guess just to close this episode out too, the other thing that we want to do is we are compiling a master playlist, the Dads Who Mosh playlist. So every single week we're going to add an essential track to this playlist. And mine, I went back and forth, but the reason I selected this song that I'm going to add to the playlist this week is first, I can't remember who the band was. I can't even remember the festival. It was either Hellfest or LDB Fest. There was a band, like a younger band, I didn't recognize the name, but they covered this song, and it's Memphis Will Be Laid to Waste by Norma Jean. And I was just like so proud that there's this young band that recognized how good this song was. And so that album by Norma Jean, this was back when Josh was the vocalist, the only album he did with them, Bless the Martyr and Kiss the Child, I think has got to be, I mean, I'd say this about a lot of bands, but a lot of albums that like this has to be like maybe the best album I've ever heard. At least like if I'm going to say like heavy music, it's my favorite album. Yeah. And the song Memphis Will Be Laid to Waste is just, it's so good. I mean, it encapsulates that chaotic, gritty, dirty, like unprocessed early 2000s metalcore. So my pick for the playlist this week is Memphis Will Be Laid to Waste by Norma Jean. It's a must-have for the playlist, so that one's mine.
I love it. Yeah, I was thinking about this too, this, fun new thing we're doing, and I go back and forth. Should this be a new song that I want everyone to get on board with?
Yeah.
Should this be a classic? And, we're starting from blank, so there's no songs on this playlist first. So much like you, I decided we have to go with a classic. We got to get the kids on board. We got to let them know. And so mine, probably no surprise to you, is going to be Nerdy by Poison the Well. It's just, I think The Opposite of December was so influential to metalcore. That one came out like 1999, and then the early 2000s it's covered by Haywire. Covered it when we saw them. It's covered by this Ends in Tragedy band that I was talking about earlier. I think it's influenced so many that it's got to be. That's my official first pick. Of the Dad Too Mosh podcast playlist.
Love it. Yeah, so we'll get the playlist up and running. We'll put links to all this stuff. So in the description of the podcast, you guys will find, links to, we'll tag the bands that we talk about and the new EPs and singles. We'll tag, these new album releases. We'll put a link in there for the playlist, so you guys can check it out. Any shows coming up, Jesse, that, you want to let everyone know about, and maybe they can find you there. They can, speaking of using phones, they can, track you down at any shows coming up.
Yeah, that's right. Again, if anybody is listening to this, we would love to build a Dads Who Mosh community. And I think part of that is finding people to go to shows with. There's so many guys that I talk to, and they love this music, but they don't want to go to a show alone. And I totally understand that. Or maybe intimidated. Or maybe they feel bad, because we have these obligations with wives and kids. But if they get an invite from somebody, it's say, hey, I'm going with my friend to this show. It's like I don't know, it's easier to go, I've found. Or if, even if I tell my wife, hey, I got invited by my friend to go to this show, can I go? It's I don't know, it's easier than saying like, peace out, I'm going by myself, leaving you guys. I don't know, there's some psychology there, I don't know. So with that said, anybody who's in this Southern California area, I do go up to LA for a good show, down to San Diego. I would love to have you join me. So I did officially buy tickets to Warped Tour. That's not until July. I had kind of been on the fence, but I did officially buy my tickets for that. And so again, if you're around in July, I think I'm just checking my spreadsheet because I'm really nerdy and have a concert spreadsheet.
So great.
The next show, well, okay, I bought tickets for Poison the Well. That's in May. I have a bunch on my radar, and so if someone wants to go, you could probably convince me. But Prada, 4 Years Strong, and I Promise the World, in March 21st down in San Diego. Let me know. Hit me up. I got some guys in my circle that might want to go. So come mosh with me down in San Diego.
Awesome.
What about you? You have anything on the radar?
Yeah, the only thing coming up is in March. Nothing in February so far, at least, unless I just get the itch. But Varials, we talked about Varials. Their new album just came out today. They are playing at the Nile Theater March 25th. Opening for them is Unity TX. Heavy Hitter, and Bolt Cutter are going to be opening. So that's the next show that I've got on my roster. So, yeah, excited for that one. So anybody in the Phoenix Mesa area, the Phoenix Valley area, that's where I'm going to be March 25th. So if you listen to this and you're around and you hear it, come say hi.
Right.
So, yeah, awesome. Cool, man. Well,
All right. I think that's
thanks,
a wrap.
everybody. That's a wrap. Yeah, thanks for listening. We'll check you guys next time on the Dadsu Mosh podcast.
All right. Peace.